I think the biggest what am I doing? Like what have I stumbled into
Yeah.
moment was in Austria on the mountain with I forget what they were called, all the yodelers. Watching them, you know,
Uh-huh.
crest the hill singing was just like, what is going on?
Mac, we're not supposed to talk for another few weeks here. I don't know what you're doing on this call right now.
I know it's tough. I gotta address the elephant in the room. Who's the woman behind you?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
that's a cardboard cutout of Mandy Rose. She's a wrestler for WWE, so I
Okay,
had that
okay.
signed. So now it's part of my aesthetics in the background.
Nice. Okay, nice, nice. At first, I thought it was somebody just standing back there in a bikini. I was like, this is kind of a different tone than the rest of the interviews you've
Yeah, hey, I have a bodyguard. No,
done.
I've gotten that before because it's hard to tell with the background too.
Uh-huh.
Some people are like, "Is that Britney Spears?" I'm like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish." Okay,
Yeah.
like, how are you? How's life? Seems like you're in a good mood, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I'm in a great mood. For sure, a bummer. I think that was probably the best way for me to leave the show other than winning
Interesting.
it. So I'm happy in that sense. But yeah, no, I mean, definitely a bummer, but it's kind of whatever. I'm happy to still, I still have a bunch of friends from the show, so I feel like a lot of good came from it
Yeah,
nevertheless.
I'm like, whenever I talk to everyone every week, I'm like, there's only one winner at the end. So we're going to be doing this interview with 90% of you here. So,
Yeah.
but I did have you really high up in my power rankings too. So I'm sure as many did too.
Hmm.
Did you feel that like on the show that people saw you like as a threat, not only as a threat, but someone like at the top of the food chain when it comes to this game too? Because they didn't really say it, but we saw Rick's reaction. He was really relieved. So I'm like, they were keeping it quiet, but they knew. They knew.
No, everybody for sure, like starting episode one, saw me as a
Yeah.
threat. And I kind of wish, selfishly, that they had shown more of other people thinking that, just because again, that would have served the ego pretty well. But
Yep.
no, everybody for sure, like I think people liked me as a person and like wanted me on the bus in that sense because I think I was fun and got along with everybody. But like definitely had any opportunity presented itself, I think they were like, well, we should probably get rid of her because I should probably make it close to the end.
Did it make you feel better that Biggie felt really bad? We got to see it, and now you got
That
to
made
see
me
it
feel
too. Did it relieve some sting too to see like he looked legit that he was regretting it?
Yeah, no, that made me feel really, really good because he told me he regretted it, once
Yeah.
he was done with everything, he called and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I did not mean to screw you over. And it's like, I believed him, but then it was also kind of like, yeah, but you did screw me. Like, you should have kind of known a little bit better.
Yeah.
But to see that, like, it was a genuine kind of mistake and that he thought Peter was going to be going in Switzerland, definitely made me feel better that it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to take this opportunity to maybe get Mac out. So I felt good in that sense. It was nice to see him so torn up.
I mean, this game, I was thinking, what happens when everyone gets the same location? We found out what happens. I mean, there's no way to prep for these twists that come along. Only Jeffrey seems to know about what's on deck. But it's such a game where you can have a favorite and then it flips on its thing where anyone can win this. It's crazy because
Yeah.
you knew where you were, but
Yeah.
yet you're the one that got sent home. It's wild.
Yeah. No, it's why it's a bummer too, because like I wasn't the best at the social aspect of it, but I found a lot of comfort in like, okay, well, I know I can figure out where I am.
Yeah.
So like I'll be able to make it far. And it's like, oh, turns out like that wasn't enough. Like turns out like I needed to be stronger on the social or needed to be smarter on the social aspect of it. Knowing where I am is not enough. Which is a bummer, but like definitely makes the show more interesting. So good.
It certainly does. What was
Yeah.
I mean, you got to see Salzburg at least. So
Yeah.
what was your favorite location in a sense? Anything that comes to mind? Like sometimes you guys have the gauze open up and it's like this beautiful, gorgeous scenery and stuff. Like anything comes to mind where you're just like, wow, this feels like not real life in a sense. Did you have that moment maybe earlier on or any point of the show where you're just like, this is crazy that I'm part of this?
I think the biggest what am I doing? Like what have I stumbled into
Yeah.
moment was in Austria on the mountain with I forget what they were called, all the yodelers. Watching them,
Uh-huh.
crest the hill singing was just like, what is going on? Kind of like, how did I, like this is like the most beautiful, picturesque, place I've ever stood. And then you have 30 yodelers walking towards you. Like that, I feel like that moment was the biggest, like, no fucking way kind
Yeah.
of thing. That I loved any chance I got to run around. So like in Orvieto, loved running around. Maze, loved running around. For the yodelers, loved running. Anytime I was running, I was having a good time, regardless of what the scenery looked like.
Although I'll say this initial impression of the Yolders, it looked like that movie Midsommar. It was kind of creepy in a sense, like we're the
Yeah.
only humans here. They're just coming at us like zombies in a sense. Like this could be a horror script potentially, a beautiful horror.
Oh no, it was definitely there is definitely an element of creepiness to it, watching them kind of come up from among the clouds over the hill.
You know
But
what?
it was
Yeah, it totally was. So it wasn't only me. You had the most relaxed fits on the bus. I'm like, people should take Max like relaxed clothing and all that stuff. Especially Peter's like dressed like he's going to like a gala most of the time and stuff. Rachel's doing her due and putting on 100%. I'm like, we're on a bus for all these hours. Just take a tip from Mac. Look relaxed and casual and comfortable, right?
Yeah, no, I was shocked showing up, seeing all the bags everybody brought because I had just a duffel bag. And then, everybody was getting super dressed up and putting a lot of thought and stuff. And I was kept thinking like the idea here is that we're living on a bus for a month. Like we're
Yeah.
we're like one notch above camping. Like why is everybody not in sweatpants every day? So yeah, I definitely missed the memo on like looking good, but I was the most comfortable for sitting on the bus for 14 hours. So no regrets there.
Smart. I think it's just a smart strategy there too. Uh, I'm curious, like, did you uh, like get reached out? Someone reached out about the show? You just seem like a natural fit. I mean, all these casting people are really good at what they do. I'm like, but they really nailed getting you on his show. Did you audition for it, or you sort of were found? Because everyone's got their own story in a sense of how they ended up on a show.
Yeah, no, I was just scrolling TikTok one night and saw like a casting call. Thought it was a scam, but decided to go through with it. I'd never really watched reality shows or like had any
Wow.
intention of being on one. So just like truly stumbled into it by the graces of the TikTok algorithm. But again, didn't think it was real. Like thought it was a scam, but applied anyway. And then forgot about it. And then like a few months later, heard back and started the like interview process.
Wow, that's wild. You see, that's why probably you were a good fit because, like, naturally, like, I don't care, that sort of thing. Some people would just be like dying to be on the show and, hassling the people and part of it worked out well. Okay, how's
Yeah.
the Austin crew? That's my next big question. How did you recruit half of the cast to Austin? I'm guessing, Rachel's there now. I think Allie's there now. You brought him from like Florida and all these places. You were a hell of a recruiter. How did this all happen? I need to know.
Well, Allie already lived there. It's funny. Allie and I lived only 8 minutes away from each other
Really?
once we got off the show. Yeah, super close. And then Rachel just kind of messaged us one day and was like, "Do you guys like living in Austin? I'm thinking maybe I'll come." And we were like, "No, it's incredible. Like, and I've got a guest room, so like, come." She has her own apartment now, but just
Yeah.
the three of us were living in a house at one point, which was like super funny. Just because we met in the strangest of circumstances, so it was funny introducing ourselves to people, being like, "This is how we met," and now we're roommates. But yeah, hoping to get some more. That'd be great.
This is gonna be like, we're gonna start a new like real world here or something. You know
No,
what I
if we could
mean?
get one more person living in the house, I think we could get some cameras up and we've got ourselves a show.
Amazing. Love that. And on a final note, I've been keeping a tally of Jeffrey's promises. So I think he only came through for Kim because always Josh, he promised him a beer. He promised Jonah some food. Rachel wants a husband still from Jeffrey because she thinks he's part of the thing. I
Mhm.
don't think he offered you anything. I think he either learned or something that he didn't offer you anything or promise you anything. Just took you for a tour and gave you the lowdown of what ended up happening. Did I miss something here? Because the tally
No.
seems like he gets to skip on you.
Yeah, no, he didn't give me anything but bad news, really. Like, everybody else he was talking about going to do these fun things, but for me, it was like, yeah, and also, by the way, you kind of did this to yourself. You were the only one who knew, and then Biggie's the one who got you. So it was a tough time with Jeffrey out there. But I did get a beer on my own in Salzburg is the good news. So it's fine.
Okay, you did it yourself. Okay, so we'll give him a pass on that. So far, he's
Yeah.
only like 1 for 5 or
Yeah, I think
something
he's
on the
50. Yeah.
promises. I know Rachel's
Uh-huh.
going to collect sooner or later. He's going to have to bring up that husband for her.
Yeah.
Mac, I loved seeing you on the show. Sad to see you go, but you had a great run, and a lot of friends from it now. All the best to you. Can't wait to see what's next for you. I'll be following.
Thank you so much.
This was great.